All right, I found myself close to a Dick's, so I wanted to check it out. So we're gonna go in here and see what kind of bikes they got. Spring is coming, so they might have a good selection. But I always like to come in here because you never know what you might find, especially compared to Walmart. Who would have ever thought Walmart would compete with places like Dick's Sporting Goods with stuff like bikes? So let's go up here and check it out and see what they got. Now, I recently did a video on the bike selection they had in Walmart. So the goal today is just to see how Dick's stacks up to Walmart when it comes to variety of bikes and affordability for what you get with these bikes. Got a bunch of Broncos stuff. Broncos are in the playoffs. Unfortunately, the quarterback got hurt, but we'll see what happens this weekend. But we're already off to a good start. We got a big, huge photo of a mountain biker. So let's go upstairs and see if they can live up to this image. I see the bikes right over there. Let's see if we can make our way towards them. They got a huge selection. Hey. So let's see if any of it is worth it. I'm pretty confident, especially with these Nishikis that they've come out with lately. I really think those Nishikis have really stepped their game up. I've never personally had one, but just looking from the outside, the bike versus the price, I think it's worth it. They still have Mongooses though, so that's a good thing. All right, I just noticed something, and this really excites me. This is why I come into these places, because you never know what you might find, and I love giving you information that you probably wouldn't know if somebody wasn't out there in the field doing the dirty work. So I just found something out on these new giant Talons that I think a lot of you would appreciate, but there is a catch. And I want to ask you about this catch because I'm not a mechanic and I don't want to act or claim that I am. So you tell me if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so we all know about the Mongoose Switchback, $549. I do think that's a good price for this bike. WTB Trail Boss tires. So there are name brand tires on it. Frame is nice, tapered head tube, all the good things, especially for a budget entry-level mountain bike. But here's what I want to talk about with the giant Talon. All right, so with this giant Talon, this bike is pretty cool. And let me tell you why. This bike comes with Maxxis tires. I'm really not sure what brand of Maxxis tires these are. Oh, these are Icons. I like the black label on the tires too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is a 1x8. I thought it was a 1x12 for some reason, but I guess not. This is a 1x8. Very good looking frame, internal routing for a dropper post. This bike is $650. Now it does have mechanical disc brakes, which I'm not a fan of, but I mean, those are easy upgrades. You can get you some Shimano MT200s for $60 for the pair, and that'll be enough for this bike for sure. Now, what this bike does have is a rear through axle, but it's non-boost. Let me take my glasses off. Good, you?
Trying to get one of those?
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was actually doing a video about this thing. Caught me in the act.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't realize this thing had a rear through axle though.
Yeah, no, those are probably the best bikes that we have in store too.
I know, yeah, these are awesome. That's why I was like, I gotta check this out. I couldn't believe like this was in here. This is a good looking bike. The Nishikis, those are pretty good too, right?
Honestly, less so than these, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll still get the job done.
Yeah, but this is it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so we just had the worker come over here and he caught me in the act. I don't know if he really noticed the camera or what, but he didn't really mind, or he acted like the camera wasn't there. That was kind of weird, but shout out to that worker for not giving me a hard time. So this is a 1x8. It does have a rear through axle. What I was about to say was this is non-boost. Now it does help with stiffness and ride quality, just having a rear through axle in general. But yeah, this is, he was saying this is the best bike in the store right here. And it's only $650. And I would have to agree, this looks pretty good. It's a 1x8, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I do think this bike is definitely worth it. Now, when I got back to edit this video, I realized that this bike does not have a tapered head tube. It has a straight steer head tube. I think there is a way where you can use an adapter and make it compatible to tapered forks, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's just so funny how these companies play games. You have Maxxis tires on this bike with the rear through axle, but it's non-boost. You have a straight steer head tube, and you have mechanical disc brakes. So it's like they play games to work around things that they don't want to give you, but they want you to make you feel like you really got something for the price. It just cracks me up how these companies like to play games. And as you'll see with the other bike, and as with the Walmart bikes as well, they're just straight to the point. They don't play games. What you see is what you get, and I really appreciate that about them. Now, I might be going a little bit too far, I'm not sure, but I think they play on people's ignorance when it comes to things like this. Because as you can see, the stuff I laid out for you, if you know about bikes, you know that it really doesn't make sense why they did what they did. Especially when you got bikes like the Ozark Trail Fast Flow full suspension that has all the modern standards you can think of. It's like, we'll give you internal routing for a dropper post, but then you can only have a rear through axle that's non-boost. Oh, you want a 1x drivetrain too? Okay, we'll give you that, but you can only have mechanical disc brakes. Okay, well, can I at least have some decent tires too? Man, you're really pushing a hard bargain. Okay, here's some Maxxis tires, but you get no tapered head tube. It's just so funny, the games that they play. It's just hilarious. Now, you probably heard me ask him about the Nishiki, and I asked him because I wasn't sure about if it's worth the Nishiki or the Giant, and I actually think the Nishiki is worth it. Now, let me tell you why. Now, you got the cruisers and the kids' bikes over here and stuff, so I wouldn't be choosing between any of these bikes. But if I was to walk in here knowing what I know now about bikes, and this is just about mountain bikes because that's all they have in here, but you could do many different things on these bikes. I would not go with the Mongoose, even though it's $549 and you got hydraulic brakes on it. I had this bike and these brakes are just, you'd be better off with these brakes or pretty much the same. These nut brakes on the Mongoose are just not what it is. And you got a little amount of range on the gears. So I wouldn't go with the Mongoose. I would heavily consider the Giant. I like the way this bike looks out of all the bikes in here. But if I had to spend my money, even though this is $650, I would go $20 less and spend my money on the Nishiki. Because you get more gears. I'm not really sure how many gears you get. That looks like a 1x12. That gear range is huge. It's a pretty cool looking bike. You get tried and true Tektro hydraulic brakes. And you just get the internal routing for dropper posts, a pretty decent fork for the price, and you get a tapered head tube. So if I'm in Dick's Sporting Goods and I'm looking for a bike, knowing what I know now, you might disagree, but this is the bike I'm taking, the Nishiki Colorado. The Giant was so close, but I don't know why they went non-boost and why they went with mechanical disc brakes. Like I said, it's not life or death, but this versus that, I just gotta go with this one.